Good morning, everybody. I trust your evening went well. It was pretty nice here in Wichita. We were like 75 degrees as the sun was going down, and we awakened this morning to temperatures in the low 50s, so we're back to more seasonal temperatures. We do have rain in the forecast. The rain that we're getting right now is well east of Wichita. Usually the rain starts a little west of Wichita, so the drought conditions are moving east. Tornado season looks once again to have escaped us out here. We've had one big storm come through and produce tornadoes in Oklahoma, southeastern part of Kansas, Texas, and then, of course, Arkansas. Really got clobbered. So the weather pattern looks like we're getting closer to a summer weather pattern, and that means rain is fewer and farther between systems. So we do need moisture here in wheat. If the wheat crop suffers, and it is suffering right now, it will increase inflationary pressures. Okay, the market's up a little bit. This is weakness in the indexes. There's very little news overnight. The Chinese news came in a little better than expected, so the Shanghai was up. Hong Kong, Japan were down. Europe got hit pretty hard. The news was mixed. Great Britain's numbers beat expectations, still show economic strengthening, and in Europe it's mixed this week. Germany's numbers were lower for the most part this week, so they're not looking for big things out of Europe. So what's going to drive the market today? News. I think it's just the direction of the E-mini, and if the E-mini really gets sold and hit very hard, and it could because resistance at 80.85 held yesterday, and the overnight commentary is pretty negative. So about the direction of the market. So the best we can expect in the stock market is a trading range right now. Like we've said all week, the news isn't there to break it out to the upside. So we're going to test support at 55 to 60 this morning, I think, and then if 55 comes out, the buying and financials can take off. So I've got the first sell band at 7 to 11, followed by 15 to 19. I'm pretty sure we got a pretty good chance for this 4 to 8 area holding, so we're trying to get short at the upper end of that. Starting out, I do like the buy side unless the E-mini turns around and runs higher this morning, so we'll start at 125.01 and then 21 to 25. I don't see any chance without a major move to the upside from the E-mini of getting down to buy 2. And remember, yesterday we said we should close this market at 124.28 or better, and we're still under that. Volume is at 02, so at 2, and if you really want to get in and get long, maybe paying 2s to 3s to get in. It just depends on where the first counter rotation stops. So I think we're in a trading range today for the financials with an up bias. That's the way we'll play it. Wholesale inventories, no one will pay any attention to, plus 0.5%. Jolts, which is taken as a read on the strength of the jobs market, 4.125. It was below 4. And we have job friction every month in the United States. There's about 4 million jobs lost and about 4 million jobs open up. So this supports tepid, modest economic growth. And we'll see how it plays out. Okay, the knob spread yesterday, we went out at 11.03, and this morning it's at 11.05, so pretty much where it was. Financials trade up today, 11.05. Thanks, Jimmy. Financials trade up today, I imagine it'll strengthen, but not by a whole hell of a lot. Jimmy pointed out yesterday that this rally to 11.22 started at 10.21. What was the magic of 11.22? 1 full point in a pretty short order. So profit taking started yesterday and carried into the close. That would be my guess, Jimmy. You see anything different on that particular spread or that assessment? If I go to Chicago, Jimmy now has somebody to talk to. We'll get in a corner and we'll talk about the knob spread all night long. Okay, the market came to balance, and this is the most dangerous time. And we'll show you that on the E-mini too. When they run it down before the day session or run it up before the day session, if you don't get continuation, you're likely to be looking at a top. So we've got resistance up here at 20 to 22, 19 to 23 will be sell 1. 27 to 31 will be sell 2. On the buy side, we're at 13. Make 1 to 5. May have to pay 9s to get in. We'll just have to see. But the most dangerous moment you have for if they run a market up is paying up to get in. So we're going to be a little cautious this morning. We're going to catch where the first rotations are, and we'll make our adjustments from that. Okay, gold was pretty quiet overnight. The eastern Ukraine will have a referendum this weekend, whether they want to secede from the Ukraine or not. Don't think they'll get the 90% plus vote that they did in the Crimea, but the eastern Ukraine is supposed to be leaning heavily for secession. And we'll see what happens. The IMF, somebody characterized them, went to war this week and said that the $17 billion bridge loan actually to pay off Russia for their gas was contingent on the East Ukraine staying with the Ukraine. So we will see. The violence has been pretty contained. Russian, quote-unquote, ethnic Russian Ukrainians have been killed, more than Ukrainian troops have been. As the Ukrainian authorities try to take back their cities, there's still a lot of unrest in 9 eastern Ukrainian cities. So that's a major piece of news coming up this weekend, what happens there. Okay, we left yesterday's market wanting to sell against 95. The 95, 97, so far the high is just below 95. So we'll leave that the same, 95, 97. Obviously they got to go a little higher to get that. And then 1300 plus or minus for sell 2. Still like the 85, 87 buy. I don't think we can break the market. And then we'll make it 78 to 80 for buy 2. I think the situation in Ukraine will hold things in check. Okay, the euro continued to sell last night. We expected a pause day without a lot of activity, and right off the opening of Globex it opened, and you can see that the selling started in London. And right now the articles out after Draghi's talk tomorrow was that credibility is on the line. The European Central Bank will be easing no matter what come June. And those are the expectations. Sell the euro. You know my feelings about the euro based on economic strength Very, very slow growth. That I don't see any reason for the euro not to be sold. And when the central bank wants a currency higher or lower, they're usually pretty successful at getting there. Okay, we've got this 38 area right here. Last rotate up stopped at 99, so here we are at 82. This fills from 95, so 95 to 138 will be sell 1. Sell 2 will be our 15 to 25. Got volume down here at high volume numbers at 65, so we'll make 50 to 60, buy 1. That might be 60 to 65. We'll just see how it plays. If you want a resting limit order, buy, put it at 66. And then we'll make 40 to 50, buy 2. So the analysts all got together in Europe last night and said that Draghi's credibility is on the line. The European Central Bank will be easing sell the euro. And that's what happened. And you can see that in London. In the market, the N is the second half hour of the London opening. And big guys in London, let them have it. Okay, crude oil is holding in there. I don't think anything happens in crude until we see what goes on in the Ukraine. Longer term, crude is a sell because of increased supply from Libya, Iran, Iraq, and the United States. Short term, China and Vietnam are facing off against each other. China wins, but it does add unrest to the world. Japan and China have been quiet for a while, but what we see right now is without a consensus and a will to preserve the peace, that dictatorships around the globe are grabbing what they can grab because they can get away with it. There is no negative downside to that. 101, 101 and a quarter, it'll be top of the resistance. It's our sell band, and 50 to 75. 125 will be buy 1. And we're at 68 right now, so we may have to pay 50s to get into a long. But I think getting short against 101, that area makes a pretty good trade. And then 99, 50 to 75 will be buy 2. And last but not least, the E-mini. Okay, let's go back and take a look at the F1 screen. This is the starting point of all your analysis, and it should be every day. We're in a trading range right now. 80 to 85 is resistance, 55 to 60 is support. Resistance held, therefore we should test support. And if 55 comes out, then I think that opens up the way down to the 40. We like, when we get up in that 80, 85 area, we like buying the 1840 puts. Why? Because of this attractor right down here. And if you look at the math of doing options, the delta is at its highest when you hit your strike price. And that's why you say, well, why do I roll? I'll go in the money. These are leveraged tickets. When you hit your strike price, that's as good as it's going to get mathematically, that you roll to the next strike price. When you do that, in this case, it'd be 35. So we've got really, really good support, 55 to 60. We've got resistance 80 to 85. Resistance held, so we should test support and or take it out. No news to really drive the trading today. Technically driven. The idea is pretty simple. Resistance held. Now let's see what happens at support. And the logic behind that trade is just that. Okay, the E-mini hasn't broken this morning and extended to the downside. There is a chance that this 65, 67 area could hold. If it is, the market's a little stronger than I think it is. So I see really, really good support down here in this 60, 62 area, then 50, 55, 57. So this is where I see support. Could be right here, though. That's yesterday's low, and we're inside of it. So right now, 70, 72 is pretty good resistance, the top of value. So 69 to 71, it's an aggressive sell. Hoping for some rotate up, and then 74, 76 for sell 2. On the buy side, I've got 60, 62. And then 55, 57. Jolts should not impact the trading, neither will wholesale inventories. So that's my wrap-up right now. It'll take at least 15 minutes to get everything out. I'm going to get busy on that. I'll stop the recording right now, and I'll be back with you.